I'm starting off this recording of the session as well. So we had a demo session in the previously in the yesterday. There are two highlight points. So I want to repeat again. One is about you are going to learn a course of the data engineering and data analyst. So whatever you are going to learn in this course, you can apply for the positions as a data engineer and as a data analyst. So as a part of data engineering and data analyst, you are going to learn three technologies. Okay, all these three are more or similar. One is about Microsoft Azure Data Engineer, Microsoft Azure Data Engineering, and Microsoft Fabric. And inside this Microsoft Fabric, we have Power BI as well. Okay, so primarily you are going to learn three things in this course. So this is one key highlight point, because when you are joining to the other training institutions, either they will teach only Microsoft Azure Data Engineering course, or they will teach only Microsoft Fabric, or they will teach only Power BI. But here we are going to teach all the three technologies, and in your resume you can put all these three. Okay, so you can ask a question, sir, if you are learning these many things, it might be a little bit confusion, and these are all like uh, a bit of are similar technologies, or are anything much difference between each technology? Nothing. This Microsoft Azure Data Engineering is having more similar like a Microsoft Fabric. So the only extra thing you are going to learn inside this Power BI, only Power BI you are going to learn the extra thing. So what I'm trying to say, Microsoft Fabric is equals to Azure Data Engineer plus Power BI. If you are combining these two, then it is called Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric is equals to Azure Data Engineer plus Power BI. So I'm going to teach you all the three environments of Fabric, Data Engineering of Azure, and Power BI. Three platforms you are going to learn. This is the main advantage you are going to enrolling for this course. And the second advantage is, every training institution, they are just providing a training only, right? So it's just like a 2 months of the training they are going to provide. But what we are doing here, we are going to provide you, there is another program. It's going to be like a placement assistance program. We can call it as a real time program as well. Real time program. Okay, placement assistance real time program. So this program, again, we are going to spend 30 to 40 hours. Why we need this second program? The reason, because you are learning a course, but to apply for the jobs as a experienced person like a 4 years or 5 years, definitely you need some more assistance on the technology. In scenario wise, some sprints we are going to create, interview preparation, and projects, end to end projects implementation, mock interviews, everything will be assisted in this program 2 over here. So program 1 we are taking in the weekdays, Monday to Friday. Program 2 we will start after 1 month, only on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. There is a lot of broad discussion will be happening inside this program 2. You guys can, as a experienced people in other technologies, you can ask many questions. It's like a forum on the weekend, Saturday Sunday, Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours. You can ask any kind of questions, and a lot of real time discussion is going to be happening over here. Lot of real time is going to be happening over here. Got it? Perfect. Now I want to start a business use case where exactly this data engineering and data analyst project is going to be happening over here. Let's take one example of, for example, we have two supermarkets. Okay, we have two supermarkets. One supermarket is here in India, or another supermarkets, both are in the same location. what we are doing, this is a supermarket. Supermarket 1. This is another supermarket. Another supermarket. So whenever there are some customers are visiting the supermarket, customers are visiting the supermarket, immediately what we are going to do, immediately we are going to have, immediately we are going to have the transactions, whatever the transactions are happening over here, that transactions data we are going to store inside in my local computer. I want to set up a SQL Server software and Management Studio software. The SQL Server software, what purpose we are using? We are using to store that data by creating a database and creating a tables, storing of the data over there. This is a local computer. This is a SQL Server, SQL Management Studio. Understood? SQL Server and SQL Management Studio. What exactly this SQL Server? SQL Server is a RDBMS, Relational Database Management Server. This is used to create a database and storing of my business data into a tables. So every day when there is a transactions happening in my supermarket, immediately the transactions data is going to be stored in this SQL Server. So what are the other products similar like your SQL Server? The other products are Oracle, MySQL, DB2, Teradata. These are some examples of the RDBMS servers. SQL Server is from Microsoft company. 10 years back, when we are going to start a business, that time we have designed this solution, the billing application. So in every supermarket, you can see there is a billing application, right? So every billing application is connecting to backend database. Your data will be stored over there. So now what we need to do, whatever the business data stored in this SQL Server, we need to move that data into either Microsoft Azure or Microsoft Fabric. So which cloud platform they are using in your project? If your client is using Microsoft Azure, so you need to use this Azure cloud platform. If they're using this Fabric platform, you have to use the Fabric platform over here. So inside this Azure, we should have a storage account. Here we have a lake house. What purpose we are using this to? Whatever the data you have in this SQL server, you need to migrate into this SQL server data into Microsoft Azure. We have a storage account software. Storage account. It can store all your business data. Here we have a lake house. This can be used to store a data. Depends on your project. Your client is using Microsoft Azure. If your client is using Microsoft Azure or Microsoft Fabric, then they can able to use this storage account for storing of your business data. So first we are going to migrate SQL Server data into storage account, or we can migrate this SQL Server data into Fabric over here. We can migrate into Fabric over here. So this is how we can able to implement the projects. Okay, so to as per this implementation, first we have to install a SQL Server software in my local computer and SQL Server Management Studio here. We have to set up a SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio over here. So first we will install this SQL Server and Management Studio in my local computer, and I will create one database inside the SQL Server. I will create the tables, then I will migrate that data into this storage account over here. I will migrate that data into storage account over here. Got it? So anybody wants to share your screen, I will make you the presenter. Then you just follow my instructions. We can directly install this database on your computers. Anybody join from the laptop? Anybody wants to share your screen, just say yes in the chat. I will make you the presenter. So right away we can uh, create installing of this SQL Server softwares in your computer. And in the next session tomorrow, what I can discuss, this Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Fabric, how to create a free subscriptions to log in inside, and how to create the storage accounts, how to create the lake house, then after how to migrate this data from local databases on premises into this cloud environments of the storage accounts or lake house based on the environment, whether it is Azure or Fabric. So how the data is coming from supermarket to this database is in not our case. I mean, it's not in our hand. It was already built-in software, a billing application has developed. So our role is only pick the data from this SQL Server database and migrate into the cloud environment. As a data engineer, that's our role. So anybody wants to share your screen, guys? We can do the installation on your machine directly. If anybody joined from the laptop, just let me know. I will make you the presenter. Can you guys tell me quickly? Okay, so I want to make the presenter Anusha. So you can share your screen and you just follow my instructions, whatever I'm telling. Okay. Yeah, you can share your screen, Anusha. So all of you parallelly you can do this installation, or else I will share this recording video. Later also you can able to do the installation. So Anusha, can you please share your screen? Right. So I can able to see your screen. Let's go to the Google, type SQL Server download. Just type SQL Server download. Yeah. Yeah. Click on the first link, Microsoft SQL Server downloads. On the top you can see first link. Right. Just scroll down. Wait. Here you can see SQL Server 2022 on premises. Download now. The first one. Yeah. So here you can fill all the details. It's just a dummy details. You can give any details, no problem. Once it is downloaded, just double click on that. The downloaded one, you just double click on that. Here you can select the custom option. Click on install. It might take 1 more minute to download all the files. Just hold on. Yeah, the download has completed. Now it will open one new window. See here on the left side, the second option, installation. Click on the installation. Now on the right side, first option, new SQL Server standalone installation. Click on that. Click next. Here you can accept the license terms. Click next. Click next. Don't select. Click next. Click next. Just disable on the top option Azure extension for SQL Server. Click next. Here you can select the database engine service. The first option you can select. Then click next. So Nagesh, I shared one video link of the yesterday demo video. You can watch that video after this session. You will understand everything. So here you can select the named instance. Give any name here. You can give your name. Click next. Again click next. So here the second option you can select mixed mode. So there you can enter a password. Any password you can enter like scaps sql at the rate 1234 something like that. Enter the same password, but please remember this password because in future you need this password. So here, sorry, click OK. You need to add current user. In the bottom there is one option, add current user. Click on that. Right, now click next. Then click install. So it will install the SQL Server software. So after installing SQL Server, parallelly we need to install Management Studio. What purpose a studio we are using? A studio we are using for connecting to this server, creating a database, tables, and writing of SQL queries, doing of all those things. Okay, so let me share that link to download the SQL Server Management Studio. Then you can do the installation. I'm just sharing one link in the chat. Click on that link. All of you, please save this link. This is for studio download. Yeah, click download. Download anyway. Okay, so simply click on install. Can you please check that other management studio installation progress? So you need to wait until completion of the SQL server, then only we can start this installation. So we cannot install both parallelly. Okay, so you have to wait till the completion of this one. Once this is completed, we can do that one, because two Microsoft products we can't install at a time. So that's the reason we need to wait. Just hold on one more minute. This SQL server installation will be completed, then after we can go with the SQL server management studio. So if anybody not joined the yesterday demo class, I'm sharing of that recording video of the yesterday session in the chat. So all of you, please watch after this session about this course. You will understand very clearly. I shared one link in the chat. You guys can able to watch that video. Better you can choose SQL Server 2022 because this 25 um, might need some patches in your OS. Okay, you might face some issues while you are doing the installation. If it is done, then that's fine. Okay, even if you're installing SQL Server 2025 RC, again you can download SQL Server 2022. Multiple times you can do the installation of the SQL Server on the same computers. Multiple times we can install SQL Server software on the same computer. Management Studio is compatible, but only SQL Server while you are installing, you might face some issues related to your operating system. Whatever the Management Studio I have given, that's fine for you to connect. Right. So the installation has completed. Simply close this one. Then now we can start the SQL Management Studio installation. Close this one. Close this one also. You can go to downloads folder. Downloads folder. Yeah. Yeah. Simply double click on the SSMS setup ENU. Now you can click install. So here, out of these three Microsoft Azure Data Engineering and Fabric and Power BI, so Microsoft Azure Data Engineering and Fabric, it's more or similar, just 2 to 3% difference only. So first my focus is on Azure Data Engineering. Then the same thing I will repeat in the Microsoft Fabric quickly. Okay. So at the end of the sessions of the course, you will get a clear exposure on all the environments. Okay. So there is no like I'm not going to give more on this particular area and less on this another area. Equally, you will get idea on every environment at the end of the sessions. Okay, so mostly the SQL Server Management Studio also installation also completed. So meanwhile, what we can do, yeah, just let it be complete. Perfect. So don't restart. Click on close. Okay. So now your SQL Server and Management Studio both installations are completed. So what you can do in the bottom start option, open the SQL Server Management Studio in your computer. Go to the start in the bottom, search for SQL space server. Can you hear me? Okay, let me share my screen. So once the installation has completed, what we need to do is we have to goes to the start option here, SQL Server Management Studio 20. Okay, you need to open this one. Here, how to find out your server name? Simply click on this, browse for more, click on this database engine. Here you can see there are so many times I have installed the SQL Server. Let me try to connect into this particular server. Click OK. Here you have two options, SQL Server Authentication. So default username is SA. Password, if you remember at the time of installation you entered one password. If you want to use the Windows authentication, you don't need to enter any username password. Default it will take your system username password. But make sure you have to enable this trust server certificate option. Then simply click on connect. So after you are connecting to your SQL server, then you can see there is a databases. How to create a new database? Right click on the databases, click on new database. Here I'm going to give it as a sales carryback DB. Then click OK. So this is my database name. In this database, let's go to that database, create a new query. Here you need to create a tables and inserting the data. So if you are good in SQL, you can write down. Otherwise, what I can do, let me use the chat GPT. Can you give me SQL scripts for sales database tables and insert data? I'm just asking the chat GPT, giving a few tables and inserting the data inside. So these are all the table scripts. Simply you can able to copy these table scripts and put it over here. Then simply execute. remove this part. Done. Okay. So this is how a tables has created. Let me check whether the tables are created or not. See, these are all the tables: customer, product, sales, salesperson. Okay. Let me ask by putting all these comments, give me insert scripts for above tables. So this is how it is giving. If you want all in one single script, provide all in single cell. Just for time being, I'm just taking over here. Okay, these are all the inserting scripts. Just try to copy all these things. Now we can go over here. Then you can able to execute. Okay, so this is how we can creating a tables. You can see the data inside. Now what I will do, whatever the tables we have, right, customers, product, sales, salesperson, this data we need to migrate from this SQL Server database tables into this Microsoft Azure cloud storage accounts or into this Fabric Lakehouse. So how to log into this Microsoft Azure or Fabric by creating a subscription, that part I will discuss in the tomorrow session. Okay, so I'm requesting everyone, please do installation of this SQL Server and SQL Management Studio tomorrow, and this SQL queries whatever we are getting here, right? So I will provide this SQL how to create tables and everything, the basic things for everyone. Okay, in the future you don't need to worry about this SQL part. So now if you guys have any questions, then you can able to ask the questions if you have anything. Go ahead the question.
From SAP, how we can get the data into one lake? That also will show.
So from SAP also, here we are using this SQL Server, right? So similarly, what tool we are using here to bring the data? We can use Data Factory. So instead of connecting to SQL Server, then we can use SAP whatever. So Data Factory is supporting to connect almost 200 plus data sources. Anything in your data source, Data Factory will connect and bring the data into your target.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah,
Even with the Snowflake?
yeah, anything, any data source you can connect.
Okay, thank you.
200 plus data sources it will support.
Understood. Got it. Thank you.
So we have a session tomorrow also, at the same time 8 a.m. The same meeting link you can use.
Sir, no doubt.
Come again.
Yes, sir. మాకు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుతుంది పర్లేదు కదా.
చెప్పండి చెప్పండి.
ఇది మీరు ప్రోగ్రామ్ టూల్లో అందరికి రెజ్యూమ్స్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ అంటే ఇదేంటి
అవును
ఇవన్నీ కూడా ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా. మరి
అవును
ఇవన్నీ ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కి బ్యాచ్ లో 20 మెంబర్స్ ఉంటే అందరికి
డిఫరెంట్
పర్సనలైజ్డ్
ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ వస్తాయి.
ప్రాజెక్ట్స్. ఓకే, అందరికి డిఫరెంట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఇస్తారు.
అవును
ఓకే. ఓకే. కంప్లీట్‌గా ఇప్పుడు అంటే ఇంటర్‌వ్యూస్‌లో అడిగే ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎక్స్‌ప్లనేషన్, రోల్స్ అండ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీస్ ఇలా ఇవన్నీ ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ చేయమంటారు కదా! అవన్నీ కూడా
అవును
పర్సనలైజ్డ్‌గా ఇస్తారు కదా అందరికి.
అవును అవును అవును.
ఓకే. ఓకే సార్.